Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 27th. We're going to look at your current general energies in this first row. You have this eagle card and it says spiritual wisdom on it. So I feel like you have a lot of wisdom. I also kind of feel that there's something coming in for you here. You know, the whole story of the eagle is that it can fly very high in the sky, but it can't see all the way around the curve of the earth. So, you know, it can kind of say that you really don't know where your life is heading, but I feel like it's heading in a good direction for sure. I feel like you're seeing beyond something as well. You have this seeing beyond card, and for a lot of you, I feel like you're seeing the truth in a situation. This could be like a heartbreak or a separation or whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is that you've been going through here. And so I feel like you're seeing you're getting some answers here is what this looks like to me. And, what I would say is that so far it looks like you're going to have a successful week for sure. What I would say to you as well is that, again, I feel like there are kind of like surprises. I don't think these are really surprises that are coming in for you. I feel like it's just saying be optimistic. Again, the eagle does not know what is coming around the corner, right? And it could be something really good. So I would be open to adventure here. You have the the Knight of Wands. For some reason, I felt like saying the King of Wands, probably because there's two kings here. The Empress and the Moon card, which is you showing up in a very strong position. I feel like this reading is encouraging you to become the highest vibration of yourself because you have the going this direction. It's kind of like saying healing and moving past something is going to lead to the High Priestess, a change in direction, which is going to lead to the world, is how I'm seeing this. It's almost like you have a choice here, right? And so I would pick the new adventure with the Knight of Wands here. For some of you, again, this could be like thinking about the past, like should I return to the past or whatever. And I feel like this is, and I'm not even just talking about love here. I feel like everything that you want is in front of you, Pisces, is what this is saying to me. Maybe the challenge with the Knight of Wands is the fact that you're going to have to go through a transformation, and we see this with the Four of Swords, so we're going to talk about this in a minute. But I'm getting a bunch of things here, Pisces. Like, I feel that you're much more capable than you realize with that King of Swords energy. King of Swords represents like knowledge and wisdom, but to me, it's really saying that you have much more knowledge and wisdom than you give yourself credit for. I also feel that you see this woodchuck here on this Four of Swords, and the meaning of the woodchuck is that they go through multiple kind of rebirths in their life. They have multiple chambers in their burrows, and it represents the fact that maybe you are going through like another rebirth or, clearly some sort of change in direction with the Seven of Pentacles. And it could be leading to like a little bit of a glow up here, Pisces, with the Empress card. I love the Empress card, obviously, who doesn't, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel like it's a very abundant time for you. But I kind of get this need to kind of like, embrace the energy of the Empress. It's like, sometimes I feel like it's like the best example I can give you is like losing weight. It's like if you are still, if mentally you're not in the right place, it's like you can lose weight, but like why do people bounce back? Because mentally they're heavier in their head, right? There's no other way to say it. And I'm sure I'm going to get roasted in the comments for saying that, but get over it, number one. Number two is what I would say here is that I feel like this is a good thing. I feel like you are mentally fine, like in a place of being this energy right here. It's like mentally you're here, maybe physically or maybe financially, or maybe the love that you want isn't in your life. But I think that the good news is that mentally you are in this place of the Empress energy. And again, you have the Moon. It's taken you a while to develop this. Again, I really see you are Pisces, duh. And I really see you going from the Moon energy to the High Priestess. Much more, it's like the Moon is much more mysterious. The Moon kind of represents having to go through something as well to get a reward. I personally like the Moon, but it still kind of represents having to go through something. But you go up to that High Priestess, and the High Priestess is the card of potential, which means nothing. The potential is nothing. You can be presented with an opportunity that has potential, but if you don't put the work in, to whatever it is that you're working on, it is nothing. But I feel that you're much more it's like clearly you're much more open to new potential because we have the world here. So it really says to me that you're kind of being reborn at this time. The world is a card of birth to me. And I feel like you're going back, like you're birthing into something new. Yes, with the Knight of Wands, you have the Lovers card. I feel both. Like, number one, I would be careful of past love. I feel like I said this to you last week. Sorry, wrong camera. What I would say here is I would be careful of past love because we see this right here, Three of Swords. You know, even the Four of Swords, Ten of Swords here. It's like someone could be grieving a loss, but, you know, it's like I feel like they could have been very inconsistent with that, you know, very in and out with the Knight of Wands. I do also feel this could be a person that's charging in for you, though, and, you know, if you want love again, we're going to have to look more into this. With the Five of Wands, you have with the Empress, you have the Five of Wands. I'm telling you right now, there's something here about your mindset or, like, how you see yourself. I feel like you need to realize how powerful you are at this time, Pisces. You know, it's like, part of me, I feel really good about Saturn moving into Pisces. I feel like it's going to add some structure and some direction. But Saturn in your first house is not always, like, the easiest place for Saturn to be. Like I always tell people, to me, I think astrology, I love astrology, but as I always say, to me, I think a lot of it is overblown, over-exaggerated, and again, I believe we create our own reality, so if we think it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. If we think it's going to be good, it's going to be good, right? And to me, I would say, I would take the good stuff, the structure, the grounding things in reality, bringing your dreams down to earth with Saturn and Pisces, but also working on yourself, right? And it's an amazing time for self-improvement for you for the next 3 years or so. It's an amazing time to heal yourself or do any of those things. And it's also great for mental, like, you know, kind of like mentally being in that place. So if you can even brainwash yourself into being an Empress, right? I would do it with this energy because I feel like you will be successful. I would be careful of conflict, especially with a past person here, Pisces. With the Moon, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a rushing energy, so I would be careful of anything kind of like rushing back in here. I feel like you see things very clearly now. You're like very future focused in this reading, I would say. I feel like, and again, I feel like there could be distractions from the past, so I would stay future focused. And again, it might not be love. It might be, you know, past ideas, past jobs, limiting beliefs as well, because there is like a mental energy that I'm getting here. Next, you have this unexpected card. You have this Seeing Beyond card, and I do feel if there's a person coming back, it could be a little bit unexpected for you, Pisces. Maybe you're not expecting to hear, you know, communication or anything like that, but other than that, I really don't think there's anything unexpected coming in for you. I feel that this is more talking about like the need to believe in your future, you know, needing to see beyond it. It's almost like you do have to brainwash yourself. It's obviously, you know, if you want to be a billionaire, but you only have like $10 in your bank account right now, it is hard to go from $10 to $1 billion, but it's not impossible, right? So I do feel there is this need here in your reading to kind of look beyond your circumstances. And, you know, yes, it is hard, and I am not discounting anyone's experience, right? But sometimes we just have to get over it, for lack of a better term, and we have to kind of like try to rise above it. But I feel like you are doing this. There's a big difference here. It's like most people, I think about it. For you, I see action here, so it's like you're taking action to do this. You have the Three of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. Some sort of difficult ending in your past here with the Three of Swords. It could have been involving like a third-party situation for sure. You know, there are three birds here. I don't really read the Three of Swords as a third party, but what I would say is there's three birds right there. So could have been, could have been a very difficult ending here with the Ten of Swords. But look, there's a crow right here. I kind of feel like the crow is you, Pisces. Crows are kind of like the magician, able to create their own reality. So it's like, you know, Ten of Swords could have been someone stabbing you in the back. I feel like now you're kind of like healing from it with the Four of Swords, and you're much more focused in this direction. Future, also, I feel if you want love, could be a Taurus coming in for you. Could just be a person who has Taurus in their chart, and I feel like you're much more focused on permanent like energy, which again, with Uranus and Taurus, that would make a lot of sense to me. You have the Four of Swords as well. Like I said, I would definitely, anything you could do to focus on your own healing. And yes, Saturn is not in Pisces yet, but it will be soon. And so I would be working on like healing, being healthy, mentally healthy as well. Anything you can do to work on yourself, I think will probably pay you back about tenfold if you work with the energy. The thing I like to remind people with Saturn energy as well is that we don't really have to wait for the rewards for with Saturn energy. It's not like we have to wait. If we do the work, Saturn rewards us right away. So, anything you can do to work on yourself personally, I think would be amazing for you, Pisces. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Wands, some sort of victory coming in for you. Someone could be jealous of you as well. Six of Wands can represent jealousy, Pisces, but as I've been saying, Mars in Gemini, Mars is about to leave Gemini in March, but, what I would say is, that's where it went retrograde, and it can definitely represent jealousy. And so if you have any trolls, haters, jealous people in your life, I would just ignore it, plain and simple. You're successful. Why does it matter, right? With the Four of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. Yes, you're walking away from something here. I do feel like you could be walking towards your own fulfillment. If someone's coming back for a second chance, I feel like you're saying no here, clearly, with this reading because of that World card. The World really, really tells me that no matter what you're doing, it doesn't even matter if you're not dealing with love, if you are. The World is really saying to me that you are creating your own world, which I think I said to you in your last reading as well. So, looks good to me. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. Yes, round-and-round situation. So I feel like you're ending something that you just see as a round-and-round situation. It's funny that we have the King and the Queen of Swords in between here. And the Queen of Swords sees things clearly, but to me, these two are not good divine counterparts. They're like the worst divine counterparts, the King and Queen of Swords. So I feel like you're no longer, it's like, I feel like this is you now. It's like you are wise to a person's games or you're wise to a situation here. So some of you could be moving past that. And, obviously I think that would be a good thing. Next, we are going to look at, the critical information you need to hear right now. You have this dog spirit. It says, be loyal to what you love. Pluto and Aquarius, I keep saying that a little bit of Pluto and Aquarius is following your heart. And your heart might be telling you to do something that you want to run away from. Like, I don't know, public speaking or putting out YouTube videos or, anything that could lead to it being exposed, right? And what I mean by that is like we all have like a little bit of imposter syndrome where maybe we say something and we're wrong, right? So that's like a big fear with Pluto and Aquarius. And I feel like this is saying that your heart is guiding you in new directions, but you have to, you have to trust and listen to your heart to be very successful. And again, like I keep preaching, like the people that do this, I think are going to be very, very successful. The people that really kind of face those fears and do those things, the people that don't, I mean, again, not a criticism. I don't think people should do things they don't want to do, but again, the people that don't won't be. So it's just that simple. I also feel like there is someone very loyal coming in for you. So if you want love, definitely could be love. You have the High Priestess and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you've learned to trust your intuition. Again, if this was like a difficult situation, difficult breakup, whatever, I feel like you've gone from that moon period of darkness to this High Priestess. I feel like you've learned like what to look out for, what to pay attention to, all those other things. I also feel like you want to see action with the King of Pentacles showing up here. It's like you don't want to get into a love situation and just have it be a bunch of words. I feel like you're very focused on getting into something where the person proves it, shows you that they want a relationship. So I kind of feel like, but at the same time, I also feel with the High Priestess that you are just getting better at seeing that in the first place. So it's like you can avoid, having to waste time, period. So it looks to me like there's some sort of change that's going on for you here. I'm also getting something about money and investment. So again, if you're making any investments, obviously do your research this year. I keep telling people it's like, if there was ever a time where you don't want to make blind investments, and what I mean by a blind investment is I mean like your cousin comes to you and is like, oh, invest in this stock, it'll make you $1 million. Bad idea, right? If you do your research and you don't enter into it blindly, then you will be successful. So again, if you're investing money, I feel like it could be a good time for you, but again, no blind investing. You have this King of Pentacles. You're very focused on your finances, period. I mean, it makes perfect, I shouldn't say it doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense that you would be very focused on your finances and improving your finances. And I feel like they are improving. So it's just that simple. And I love it. I also feel that this could be a Taurus coming in for you. You have Taurus twice right next to each other. And, it could just be an earth sign or it could be like an earthy, grounded person who's coming in for you here, Pisces. You have the King of Swords. For some reason, I feel like this is your energy. I'm pretty sure I've been saying this to you that it seems to me like you're in this King of Swords energy. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are, obviously. To me, he's very kind of wise. He has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. He's learned a lot through the things that he has gone through in his life, but he's not afraid to apply his wisdom either. Like if he knows how to be successful in business, he goes and does it. If he knows how to be successful in a relationship, he goes and does it. So, kind of like a very much like an energy like that. And I feel like it's going to be, very, very good for you, obviously. Let's see here. With that Seven of Pentacles and the High Priestess, I can't even get a card. Let's see. You have the Empress. You are clearly the Empress. Again, we kind of said that at the beginning, and I was saying that I was getting the transformation between the Moon and the High Priestess. So you're probably getting a lot of attention at this time. Again, as I've said to you, I would not rush into anything right now, Pisces, as far as love is concerned. It might even, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get into anything. If you meet a person, obviously, date them. Go have fun. You need to have fun, Pisces. So I feel that, getting out, doing things is great. But I would just, take your time with the whole, falling in love with the person right away thing. And, I think that if it happens over time, great. But really, the end of March, as I've been saying, is an amazing time for you for love. But between now and then, I feel like there's just, a little bit of a risk of just rushing into something too quickly. So take your time. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Moon. There's the connection again showing up, basically right on top of each other here. Again, take your time to get to know a person, right? If you're meeting this King of Pentacles person. I also, again, to me, the Moon says go through the process. It's part of the Fool's journey. He has to walk from the beginning of the moon, which is kind of emotional because that's where the pool of water is. And then he has to walk all the way down to the mountains, which the mountains represent the achievement, right? So I feel for a lot of you, really what I'm getting here is that it's like saying anything financial, learn about it, right? An investment, you could be making some changes in your business. And I feel like it's saying go from that feeling, oh, this is a good feeling, this feels good, and then go in that direction. Start grounding it in reality. Again, I really kind of feel, this is one of those things where the universe is trying to teach you how to take your crazy ass ideas and bring them down to earth, as I've been saying to you for weeks, because Saturn, Neptune and Pisces is like crazy ideas, right? Especially for us Pisces. And then Saturn gets in there, is like, why haven't you created these crazy ideas on Earth? The world needs more crazy Pisces ideas. So, again, I feel like this Moon card could be saying go on the journey of grounding one of your ideas, whether it's like writing a book, starting a YouTube channel, doing something. With the King of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Some of you could be meeting a person that you'll marry. Again, wouldn't surprise me. Especially for you like Pisces that were born in the 80s, or even the very early 90s, really wouldn't surprise me just based off of, where I know your chart is at. I'll say that. So over the next few years even, I'd say if you're born in the 90s, it'll maybe over the next couple of years. But, you could meet this person now and it could lead to marriage. I also feel that this is a card of completion. We have two cards that I would represent, that would represent to me going through a portal. The Four of Wands is kind of like a finish line. And again, the World here is my portal card. It is my card of, kind of being reborn or having a rebirth or creating your own reality creating your own world, literally. Next, in the area of the good stuff, yes, no matter what shows up here, it's going to be positive no matter what. You have this full moon in Gemini. It says embrace the flow of life. And I do feel you're kind of more in the flow. I feel like you're less, again, I got this feeling at the beginning of the reading of just being more focused on kind of what's in front of you. Maybe normally you would try to see everything that's good, maybe you try to have 360 vision, let's put it that way, right? And now I feel like you're saying, no, there's nothing that I have to really worry about. There's nothing, and it's not that that there aren't things you shouldn't pay attention to and all that other stuff, but I feel like you're more focused on the future. You're more in the flow this week, and I feel like you will be feeling that as well, which is kind of interesting, so love it. You have the World. Again, there's some sort of birth going on here in your life. Like I always say, to me, we go in the major economy, go from the Fool to the World, then we start all over again, so I would say that there's a happy new beginning coming in for you. Really wouldn't surprise me if you were traveling a lot at this time. Again, like I always say to you, Pisces, I think that there's just a ton of travel energy. I travel all the time. Most of you don't even know it because I pre-record, right? But it's I've been traveling like crazy. So it doesn't surprise me that you would be traveling. It doesn't surprise me that some of you might be thinking about moving or, trying to find your place in the world. Even if you're not traveling or moving, again, you could be just trying to change the environment where you are. Again, this doesn't have to require a move. People always ask me, do I have to move? I'm like, no, if you like where you live, stay. There's no reason to move, but it's like, can you change something around you so that you feel more comfortable, so that you feel more successful, more abundant? Like, what feelings do you want? I really feel the moon here in your reading is saying, what type of feelings do you want to be feeling, and how can you change your environment? Maybe that's a move, but it could also be like rearranging your furniture. I always say, like, I lived in an apartment over here a few years ago, and it's like I could not sleep in this apartment, and then I moved my bed, and I slept like a baby just by moving my bed. So it's like you never know how making some sort of change in your house or your home or whatever, could lead to a big change. It could, change things forever. You have this Hierophant, so some of you, there's something about marriage here. Some of you could be getting married or meeting a person that you'll marry. I also feel that a lot of you are like graduating here, spiritually. The Hierophant, he has 3 stages on his crown, and they represent the 3 stages of initiation, which are, initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like getting to this mastery stage of life. And you have the 5 of Pentacles, but again, this is the area of the good stuff, so this is going to be positive. I feel, again, a lot of you could be coming out of the cold financially. I do feel like financial improvements or finances kind of speeding up here a little bit, because I feel like things have been a little bit like slow or like just not as good as you want. With the World, you have the Hangman. You have every single Pisces card now showing up here. I feel like you've changed your perspective on something. I'm getting that on the 5 of Pentacles as well, which is interesting, where it might not even be money, but it's like I feel there are certain things in business or work or career, whatever it is you do, where normally it would bother you, but it's like it's not bothering you anymore. So I kind of feel, I don't want to say you're getting over something, but I do feel like you're kind of like getting over some worries or concerns or things that you've dealt with. With the Hierophant, you have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, I would be careful of anyone coming back from the past, but I do feel you're meeting a true soulmate. Again, outside of, I really don't think the 6 of Cups represents a person from the past in the first place, but, to me, it just represents like a soulmate or a childlike attraction, so there could be a very playful, connection coming in for you. With the 5 of Pentacles, you have the 4 of Cups. This is the White Sage Tarot, and I love this cup, this 4 of Cups here. If you were like in a third-party situation, I feel like you're getting into a new love situation where it's like a person pours all their cups into you. I feel like this person, maybe you experienced a past person who was giving to multiple people. And, I definitely feel that here for some reason on that 3 of Swords, where you could have been dealing with a person who was giving to more than just one other person, like multiple. And I feel like you're finding a person who really gives you like their all. So, much, much better as far if you want love at this time. We're also going to pull 5 main themes now here at Pisces to end this reading. So let's see. Hold on. Cards do not want to come out for you for some reason. You have this speculation card. I'm telling you right now, if you're making an investment, I do feel that there could be a solid investment. Again, do your research. I think that is super risky time to be making investments until, I don't know, like the end of 2026, or even really, if you want to get super technical, until 2033. So if you invest blindly, you are going to suffer. If you do your research, if you know what you're talking about and you have a good reason to make an investment into something, then you're probably going to do very well. Even at that, like people always ask me, like, should I sell my house for crypto? And stuff? Hell no. It's like you like any investment. It doesn't matter what investment it is. It should be like a small portion of whatever you're doing. Again, super, super risky. I can't express to people enough how and I don't want to steer people away from making investments, because I think with great risk comes great reward. But, again, you have to understand your own risk tolerance, and that's what I would be doing. I would be like figuring out like what can you tolerate? What level of loss can you tolerate? And then if you hit a banger and you make a bunch of money, great. But if you don't, it's like, how much are you willing to lose? And I would come up with that number for those of you that invest money into things. Like, that's what I would do. And again, do more research. Don't be lazy. Next, you have this intuition card. Yes, your intuition is on point. Again, I do feel that for those of you that like maybe you have an intuitive feeling about some sort of new company or something, could make you a lot of money. But again, I would still do your research. On top of that, I do feel you're feeling more intuitive. Again, that Saturn and Pisces, we're not there yet, but we're getting close. And I think that's going to kind of ground some of your intuitiveness. I think that with Neptune being there as well, what you'll probably notice the most is I think what you have been missing for years is like knowing that something is going to work. I think Pisces, like I don't really have a good example for you other than when I was younger, I worked at this aquarium, and it's like I went there when this aquarium opened, right? And I just knew, like I could see it. I knew I was going to work there, and literally like a couple months later, I ended up getting hired there. But it was like one of those things, I could feel it. And I think that's been missing for Pisces for a long time because of Neptune and Pisces. And so with Saturn, I think that feeling thing is returning. And so I would trust your feelings. Again, you're getting back to that Pisces energy. You have this eccentricity card. I would embrace the weirder situations. To me, this is all about Pluto and Aquarius. It's like there are some weird stuff that will be happening with Pluto and Aquarius, but these are going to be weird opportunities that could lead to a lot of success. So don't be afraid of like eccentric people, opportunities, stuff like that. You have this charity card. I just feel like the universe is blessing you, honestly. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So I feel like you're receiving blessings from the universe. If you went through something like a third party or whatever, something difficult, I am getting here that if you went through something difficult, a difficult loss, it might not even be love. It might be something else. I feel like you kind of like chose yourself in this situation, Empress, twice, right, in your reading. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently. I feel for some of you, there was something in your life that happened where you chose yourself, and it's like the universe is seeing that, and I feel like you're being rewarded. And finally, you have this practicality card. Crazy, because in those this time next year readings, everybody had this card, so we're clearly entering into a very practical time. And I kind of feel for you, Pisces, this is more saying like keep it simple. Any project you're working on, keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate things. That'll lead to more success. But I love this reading for you, Pisces. Definitely really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.